So let's talk about how to get higher commissions than the industry average right now. There's a lot of downward pressure on commissions today, more so than I've ever seen before. And I think that markets, whether it's a buyer's or seller's market, has a lot to do with that. But let's talk about how to make sure that you're always in control of your commission, no matter what price you charge, so that moving forward, you are the one who determines your paycheck and not someone else, like a listing agent determining how much they're going to pay to a sub-agent of a seller or a buyer's agent, etc. When you first get into a position to talk about your commissions, you have to be prepared. Whether you're getting a listing agreement signed or you're getting a buyer's agency agreement signed, you must be prepared beforehand. And the first step is to have a listing pack with you at all times, or a buyer's pack with you at all times. And what I mean by that is you don't want to go to your computer or go to your tablet and fill this thing out in front of them. You want to have it pre-filled beforehand. One of the biggest mistakes that I see agents make is they use the free forms that put in the commission amount in a totally different color and totally different font than what the contract has for the rest of the verbiage. And so if you think about that as a concept, for example, if you were to go to a store and ask them, hey, how much is this pair of jeans? And they look you up and down and they get a marker out and then they write the price right there in front of you, you're going to think, I probably could do better than that. Nothing else in any other industry that I see works in that manner. You don't go to a car dealership and you say how much for the car, and then they write it on the windshield. So why do we do that in the real estate business? We shouldn't. So what I always did was I had the listing packet already filled out, always kept one in my bag with me, and in there I had a graphic design artist remove the blank underneath the commission. And I had them write in the amount of the commission. In my case, I always charged on residential a minimum of 7%. In the same font as the rest of the agreement, again, removing that blank. So it looks uniform. It doesn't look like something that we're just making up as we go. The worst thing you can do is pull a pen out and write it in there, which is still what a lot of agents do. The next thing that I would do is I would charge a transaction fee. And I've got to thank a guy whose name is Aaron Kidd. He was the one who talked me into charging a transaction fee years ago, and I couldn't wrap my mind around it, but it works in the same way. So it's not called a transaction fee anymore, it's called additional commission, but you do the same thing. So you put it in the same font, you remove the blank, and you don't skip over it. This isn't to hide this information from your customer. This is so that, again, it looks uniform. So when you're going through and you're explaining your commission, say, we charge 7% plus additional commission of $4.95 for our transaction fee, or whatever you call it these days. And then you just simply flip the page and you go over, this is how we pay a seller sub-agent, this is how we pay a buyer's agent, this is how we pay a transaction broker, this is the percentage that they get, and you just keep moving through it. Now, if they have questions on the commission, whoa, what is that $4.95 additional commission? Oh, that's what we use to offset our marketing costs. What I always said was, that's what I use for my beer money, I'll buy you a beer afterwards. They'd chuckle. I was in a resort market, so that really went well with the kind of market I was in. And I would just keep moving. Sometimes they'll have pushback. Well, I want to get a lower commission, or I was told someone would do it for X. No problem. What we can do is negotiate after we get an offer in. And I won't stand in the way of the sell if I can, within reason, be the difference maker as far as my portion of the commission. I don't want to start at a deficiency. Does that make sense? Normally they'll say yes. And I very rarely had anybody push back from that point. If they do continue to push back, I would say, I'll tell you what, if you help me with the selling process, for example, if someone comes and they're asking you about the property because you happen to be in the yard and they see the for sale sign, if you get that customer direct to me, I'll negotiate and lower my commission all the way down to just the listing side, half of it, 3.5%, as long as I'm writing that transaction. So what you're doing is you're showing them you're open to negotiations, but you're also holding firm to your fee in the beginning of it. And I've done this multiple times. It's never come back to bite me. It's always been very good. And then the off times where they do actually go and help me sell the property, I'm very happy to lower the commission by that amount, just like I would pay a cooperating agent, because then I have a very happy customer. I still get the same amount of money that I would have. In fact, I get 0.5% more. If the average commission that a lot of agents are charging is 6%, I would only got 3. Had I lowered it it by a point. So in this instance, I'm getting 3.5 plus I'm still getting that additional commission of $4.95, which was our transaction fee. And so these are the ways that you do this. Now on the buyer's agency side, it's the same exact thing. You're going to want to write in, you're going to want to already have pre-written in, pre-typed in the same font as the rest of the contract, that 3.5%, as well as any transaction fee or additional commission that you charge in your market. And what I would do is I would always leave it the same. So with that in mind, what I want you to do is I want you to find someone who can help change your agreement so that it matches that font. You can go on Fiverr, fiverr.com. You can do this for very cheap. And I want you to create that template so that you always have that with you, your buyer and your seller packets, so the listing agreement and buyer's agency agreement, and keep it in your bag, keep it in your file. If you're a real estate team, keep it to where your agents can go and just grab one anytime they're going on a listing, anytime they're going on a showing, and make sure that you have these things available and that they've been created in advance. As always, I want to give you a feedback loop. Do us a favor so we can continue to take this journey together. Post your listing agreement in the Facebook group with those changes made so that we can see how it looks, and if necessary, give you any feedback. We'll see you in the next video.